Have you ever wondered why cats seem to have life all figured out? They sleep for 20 hours a day, they're adored for simply existing, and they couldn't care less about what anyone thinks of them. Now wouldn't that be the life? But alas, we are not cats. We are humans, complex creatures with emotions, ambitions, and the occasional inability to decide what to order at a restaurant. But fear not, for today we delve into the mysterious realm of motivation, success, and the art of not spending half an hour deciding between a cheeseburger and a chicken sandwich. Picture this, a man named Bob. Bob is your average Joe. He goes to work, pays his taxes, and has a peculiar fondness for socks with cartoon characters. One day, Bob decides he wants to run a marathon. Now Bob hasn't run since high school, which let's just say wasn't yesterday. But he's determined. He buys a pair of ridiculously expensive running shoes, downloads a fancy running app, and sets his alarm for 5 in the morning. The alarm rings. It's still dark outside. Bob groans, turns off the alarm, and goes back to sleep. The next day, the same thing happens. And the next. And the next. Until Bob finally gives up, stores his running shoes in the back of his closet, and his marathon dreams are forgotten. Now, we've all been a Bob at some point in our lives. We've all had grand plans that somehow ended up in the back of the closet, gathering dust along with our unused gym memberships, and that weird kitchen gadget we bought off a late-night infomercial. But what if I told you, there's a way to turn that around? To dust off those plans, to finally run that marathon or start that business or learn to play the bagpipes. The secret? It's not about the grand gestures. It's not about the fancy running shoes or the expensive equipment. It's about the small, consistent steps. It's about setting the alarm for 5 in the morning and actually getting up. It's about putting on those running shoes and taking that first step. And the next. And the next. So remember, success isn't about being the fastest or the strongest or the smartest. It's about being the most consistent. It's about showing up day in and day out even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. And who knows, maybe one day, you'll be running that marathon, or starting that business, or playing the bagpipes. And all those Bobs out there will look at you in awe and wonder, how did they do it? And you'll smile, lace up your running shoes and say, one step at a time. So folks, let's not be Bobs. Let's take those small, consistent steps. Let's dust off those dreams and make them a reality. Because if a cat can rule the internet by simply existing, then surely we can achieve our dreams by simply persisting. And who knows? Maybe we'll even figure out how to decide between a cheeseburger and a chicken sandwich. Remember, the road to success is always under construction. But with a little grit, a little determination, and a dash of humor, we can navigate the detours, endure the potholes, and enjoy the journey. And maybe, just maybe, we'll end up somewhere even better than we imagined. And that, dear listeners, is the secret to success. It's not about being a cat, it's about being a human. A persistent, consistent, occasionally indecisive human. So go forth, conquer your dreams, and remember, the world needs more sock-loving Bobs. They make life a lot more interesting.